How often do you ask your kids to listen to you? How often do you listen to them? Today's episode of Influential Parenting, we're talking about listening. Hi, I'm Mary Dominguez, emotional wellness expert and parent coach. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about that amazing skill called listening. Yes. How often do you find yourself listening to others? Are you that go-to person, the one that always, just has the patience and always has the right answers and people look for to just dump everything? Well, then welcome to my club. Yes, I absolutely understand. Maybe you're not that kind of person. Maybe you wish you were, and you just have all these things that you have to do. And you often find yourself that having to listen to someone is actually just taking up my time. And it's interesting because listening is such an important skill and it does take time to develop. So often our own kids don't learn how to listen because we as parents, as educators, as mentors, we forget to model that behavior, that simple act of listening. This is why today I'm sharing 5 tips on how you can become a better listener. You see, John Maxwell in his book, How to Influence People, he said it best. He actually provides 10 tips, and I was just so thrilled with that I included information from those tips in my Influential Parenting book. Why? Because listening is something that we all need to learn. And we also need to ensure that our kids know that we are listening. Here are the 5 tips, and remember there's 10 tips. I'm gonna offer you 5 in today's segment. The first one is look at the speaker. Yes, see, I'm wandering around. However, when we look at the speaker, then we're acknowledging them. So imagine me creating a video where I'm looking everywhere else. It'd be kind of awkward, but since I'm having a conversation with you, then I want to know that I am here and I want you to know that I am present to you. That's why looking is so important. And yes, it's custom and culture that in some places, they don't look at each other in their face, but at least, you have that connection. And so often now, especially after the pandemic, that we're not in front of people, we'll text somebody, we're on the phone with people, and we miss the development of that skill. But whenever you have an opportunity to talk to someone, then look at them. Put your phone down, stop multitasking. And I know I'm guilty of this too, because I think I can do so many things at the same time, and we're not meant for that. We're told that from a very young age, yes, hold this, grab this, we have 2 hands. Yet, we are meant to focus. And by listening, by looking, it's how we're gonna develop that. Skill number 1. Number 2 is to listen with the intent of understanding. What does that mean? It means that we're not trying to solve anything. We're not trying to memorize the list of things that are being told to us. We're really just making sure that whatever is being delivered to us, whatever information is given to us, that we are comprehending, that we truly do understand. And so often I know that, maybe we're listening to someone and we just hear the voice, but we're not really registering what it is that they're telling us. And how do we solve that? Well, here's tip number 3. We ask questions. Yes, ask questions. Feel free to ask questions. Yes, I know sometimes it could be a little frustrating when you're talking and all of a sudden someone's like, wait, okay, say that again. So rather than saying that, is because you're listening, then you know what they said. It's just you want to make sure that you're understanding what they said correctly. So what I heard you say was yada, yada, yada. And they will say, yeah, that's exactly what I said. Can you believe it? And now they know that you were listening, but you just probably, there's something that needed to be clarified. And you can ask them, hey, I have a clarifying question. So this is what I'm hearing you say, or it could be something that's just thought-provoking. And you're saying, okay, wait, so what you're telling me is, and you can just rephrase what you've understood so far in that conversation. Again, it's not an opportunity to list everything, just an opportunity to let them know this is what I'm hearing you say and what I'm processing, right? For number 4 is don't interrupt. Yes, don't interrupt. And that includes you parents. Don't interrupt. Because why? We often interrupt because our brain is already focused and is already used to fixing things, finding solutions, getting the answer. And many times people will talk to us and it's not with a purpose of, I want you to fix anything. I just want to be heard. And when we fail to do that, we immediately resolve to, using our brain to fix it, then we don't get the clear, full picture. I invite you that when someone is talking to you, and yes, I have to admit it, I'm going to say it right now because those people who know me will be like, but Mary, I've talked to you before, and then you always have a solution for something. But what I do now, what I've learned to do is to breathe and make a mental note. And then I go back to listening with the intention of understanding rather than fixing it. I'm not going to fix it. That's not what I'm here for. When I ask my questions, then that's going to open the opportunity to say, okay, maybe there's a solution that I can answer, that I can provide, or a question that I can answer. But until then, that's not the purpose of the listening. The purpose is just to be there, to understand, and we do that by not interrupting. And number 5, remember there's 10. So if you want all 10, I invite you to grab a copy of the Influential Parenting book where I further explain these skills and also how you can practice these skills with your kids. So number 5 today is check your emotions. Oh, those emotions, I will tell you, sometimes people will share information and because it stirs your emotions, you may feel inclined to stop them. Or you may feel that all of a sudden, it just triggered something and you're just adding fuel to the fire because you can identify to that. You can relate to that. And it's important to ensure that you're not making it about you at this moment. That yes, there's an opportunity maybe further into that conversation that you say, you know what, can I share something that happened? Like I know what you're feeling, and are you okay with, hearing what I have to say about this? And sometimes I might tell you, I just really wanted to talk to you. Like, no, it's just, and you can respect that. Or most cases they're like, sure. And because you can share that experience, they may feel better. They may be open to further conversation. But when you can really separate the emotion, and again, this takes practice. It takes practice because I'm a very emotional person, and I can tell you that I've had to really work on mastering this. And this is why now I can tell, and I call myself the emotional wellness expert because of the research, because of the experience, because of the time that I've devoted into making sure that my emotions are not getting in the way of thinking clearly, of being present, of not being judgmental when someone is telling me something because I'm so focused and stuck on whatever emotion that provoked. And there's a time and place for everything. But when you are really listening as a skill, just being present to that person, then we really have to let that aside and focus on listening. I want to invite you to watch a film. And if you're watching this today and you're catching this where this week or this episode was launched, then you can actually watch this film at no cost because it's being sponsored by Informed Families. However, the film, it's called Listen, and then you can find it on listenthemovie.com. I'll put the link on the comment section. This movie will definitely stir you up. It will show you how the lives of these kids are impacted in the movie because someone didn't listen or someone wasn't listening. They weren't picking up the signs. They weren't picking up on their body language. And the times that they could have really made a moment to feel valued, to feel understood, that didn't happen. Everyone was set in their ways, their expectations, and how often do you do that as a parent? I mean, I know I did it for so long. It's like, here's my list of things to do. Here is your list of things to do, and chop, chop, get it done. And this movie really opens your eyes to understanding how important it is that you listen, and not just to your kids, but you might be the one that gets to listen to someone else's kid. You might be the one to listen to someone else's mom or friend. And yes, it's a big responsibility for some people, but just know that listening can actually save a life. So I invite you to watch that movie. And if you do watch it, I want to hear, what your thoughts are on it. Again, I was bawling in the movie because, like I said, I will cry on those puppy commercials, and adopt me now. So trust me that I want to prepare you for that. However, the movie, just being able to even watch it with your kids and start the conversation of, wow, like, do you know someone like that? Or have you ever felt that someone's not listening, or that I'm not listening? And just apologize. Say, I'm sorry I didn't come through that way. I'm here for you. Whatever it is, I'm here to listen. And when you need me to listen, I'm going to listen. All right. Well, this is the end of today's episode on Influential Parenting TV. I'm Mary Dominguez, and I invite you to subscribe right here. Just click the button, subscribe, so you don't miss any of our episodes. I am excited, and I know that I am here to just walk with you through that journey of parenting. Can't wait to bring more. All right. Till the next episode. See you soon.